We are live. What is going on? It's Brian Olenek coming to you from my home, and in this video it's going to be a little bit of a different conversation. I've got a question here on my computer that actually came up the other day. It was actually 2 days ago, and it's how to be happy with your job. And I think it's a really good question because, to be honest with you, going back like a year and a half ago, I was not happy working as a baker in a restaurant. I was working like 50 hours a week. I started off in this restaurant as a dishwasher, worked up to a baker, and it wasn't satisfying, it wasn't fulfilling. I felt like I was not thriving in life, but surviving in life and just getting by. And ultimately, I wasn't satisfied with the idea and notion of not just a restaurant, but just having a boss, just working for someone else, and always getting paid bare minimum. And I didn't like it. That's ultimately my whole gist of things. It wasn't just my job. I wasn't happy with the whole, I've got a boss, I've got to show up to a place, I've got to do this and that. But it was paying for my lifestyle at the time, and it was comfortable lifestyle. But I wasn't happy with it, and I was very negative because of that. And that dissatisfaction turned into, being depressed. And I realized that wasn't healthy, and I needed to switch it around. And what ended up happening was, I actually started just doing searches on Google. I started doing searches on YouTube. I came across some people who were, creating really magnificent lifestyles. Specifically, though, I was searching on Google and YouTube how to make extra income, how to be able to build an income to the point where I could supplement my job income and quit it and not have to work for another person. So I was actually looking at like business, entrepreneurship, because I knew being my own boss would allow me to have freedom to be able to have my own choices and do what I want to do when I wanted to do it. And came across a lot of stuff, guys, but when it came down to it, I came across one person in particular who was building a business and income online, and because they were doing this without showing up to work, without having a boss telling them what to do, being able to quit corporate America, and actually, make enough money to quit their job to do that, and travel and do everything just completely online. Because of that, I began to model and copy them, and it took me 3 months after that point to create a full-time income business working part-time. And I share that with you because what ended up happening was that switched me from negative to being happy to being more positive at work was when I was negative, I was dwelling how much I didn't like my job, what I didn't like about it, that I needed to show up a place that I didn't like to show up at. When I wasn't happy, I would always dread those things. When I started looking for external motivations, things outside of working my job that could allow me to quit my job, I started to actually get happier. Why? Because I had something I was working towards. The job, my restaurant, my career path in that span, it was only going to be a fragment of my life. And I looked at it that way, and I looked at it as just a footstep to get to where I wanted to go. Alright, because I had a motivation, I had a goal I could work forward to. I hope you guys are getting this. So ultimately, if I can share with you anything, it would be set goals for yourself. Set goals for yourself that push yourself to work harder and better and more dedicated to your job, so you can go and possibly quit. You can start a business online. You can go on that vacation, or you can take a vacation every 3 months because you worked really hard. It gives you something to look forward to, so you can actually be a little bit happier at your job, and you can satisfy yourself a little bit more knowing that it's just a plateau that's going to get you to another peak in your life, alright? Because that's exactly what I did, and it wasn't until I set myself up for another goal that motivated me to work really hard, alright? To work really hard at my job, and it made me happy because I knew that my job wasn't going to be something I was going to be at for the rest of my life. I knew that I was going to, because I was working on something to get myself out of that job. I knew that what I was working on, just being consistent and persistent over time, I would be able to quit my job. And I was able to do exactly that. But it was something I was working forward to, is an exterior motivation, as I like to call it. So I would encourage you, set goals, set exterior motivations, things you can work forward to, because then if you just focus on that, that's where your energy will go, instead of focusing on the negative and focusing on what you dislike and what you hate, okay? Because when you're focusing on where you're going, it won't matter your present state. You'll be so focused on the future that you'll eventually get there. So that's my tip, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's Brando Linux signing out. And if you have any questions or comments on this, comment below. If you'd like to learn more information about building an income and a business on the internet using the same system I've been able to use just over the last year and a half to walk away from corporate America, have more family time and free time, then connect with me on my site. I'll actually put a link down below. It's 123marketingtips.com. I'll personally connect with you guys there, and I'll see you guys on the beach of the world. Take care.